Today we will talk about SHX and its ties into Bancor, Nacha, and ACH payments, and specifically talk about some interesting connections into FedNow. And of course, when I talk about SHX, it's hard to not talk about XRP and XLM. US ACH payments are worth about 80 trillion per year. And Stronghold has recently gone back to talking about that, probably because of the March of 2025 ISO 20022 compliance date. Today, though, we will be concentrating on a thing that I have seen pop up, which are virtual payment networks, which Stronghold really hasn't talked a lot about. There are also important connections into Bancor because of FedNow, who are some of the largest providers of debit cards, which are the Web 2 way of retail bank-to-bank or ACH payments.
For 50 years, Nacha has developed the rules and standards for the ACH network, providing the solutions, education, accreditation, and consulting services the payments industry needs to succeed. This rich legacy and Nacha's high standard of quality and excellence is why we're honored to be a part of Nacha's Preferred Partner Program and to contribute our expertise in pay-by-bank embedded payments to improve customer experience and advance the ACH network. As a Nacha Preferred Partner, we're also excited to be adding our experience with ISO 20022 to support businesses with the upcoming FedWire transition and ensure that they maximize the benefits of the new standard. Click the link to learn more about Stronghold and Nacha's Preferred Partner Program. And hold strong.
She had almost as hard of a time on the word contribute as I do, so that makes me feel a little better.
And to contribute our...
Okay, that's enough jokes. On that point though, it is really interesting the timing of a few events in this space. And Stronghold seems to be tweeting and posting about some really interesting topics that are related not only to what they concentrate on, but to what the companies and networks that they are connected to concentrate on and are connected to. On 12/16, we have the next Stronghold vote regarding governance. Ripple's USD has been approved in New York, which appears as if it will lead to some kind of an official announcement here soon, which is important because Ripple is not only one of the key investors in Stronghold, but StrongholdNet itself interoperable with both the XRPL and was stellar. And speaking of that FedWire ISO 20022 upgrade, Stronghold acquired 222 labs in May of 2024. One of Stronghold's stated concentrations is to prepare for FedNow, primarily through focusing on enabling interoperability and ISO 20022 compliance. Stronghold was a gold sponsor at the Nacha Smarter Faster Payments Conference in 2024. In their highlights of the conference, they referred to FedNow updates and presented on how Stronghold is driving pay-by-bank adoption to retail customers. And whenever I hear retail customers, I immediately connect that into the financial institutions that are providing services there. And once you get connected into the customer, you are connected into their institution. And I really do not think that these retail concentrated networks and applications are focusing on the retail person. I think that they are concentrating on the retail facing financial infrastructure and are working from the outside in. Stronghold is Nacha's preferred partner for
ACH experience
and ISO 20022, and their interoperability focused APIs are specifically called out here. A point that I will come back to here in a little bit is POS, which means point of sale, which is absolutely critical in order to concentrate on providing retail-oriented services and products. StrongholdNet is able to do this because it bridges Stellar,
the XRPL,
FedNow, the ACH network, and ISO 222 networks out there, which are essentially everything. And here we get into the virtual payment network itself, which Stronghold tweeted about in 2021.
Could
Virtual payment networks be the protocol that Tammy explained as being as ubiquitous as email?
they can smooth the ride along those on-ramps to the legacy infrastructure.
The other extreme, in a wholly self-contained VPN, Stronghold would serve as network operator, which is comparable to the role that the Federal Reserve banks and the electronic payments network play in
The ACH network.
Here is the actual article, which I believe is from 2021, even though there's not a timestamp called out on here because it's an article on their site. Virtual payment networks allow us to design governance that's the shared needs of a specific group by closing the loop of participants, which is an interesting coincidence because in just a few days, Stronghold is having its vote on governance of the network. If we can define what type of participant will be using this network instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, we can build a customized payments network that aligns with their shared needs, avoids interchange fees, and bridges to seed technology, which is part of how ISO 222 compliance is so important to them. One of Stronghold's oldest concentrations is utilizing StrongholdNet to replace credit card processors. And here is how POS begins to tie in again. Stronghold POS offers a complete vertically integrated solution tailored to the specific needs of these kinds of industries, which I have gotten answered before because I talked about them. And here is an example of a POS terminal. Instead of trying to read through a 22 tweet thread of mine on virtual payment networks and Stronghold, I'll just have AI help out on this, because if I tried to, I would be recording all night and I would probably pass out a couple of times.
StrongholdNet is a payment and financial infrastructure designed to bridge traditional finance, TradFi, with decentralized finance, DeFi, by facilitating real-time settlement using the SHX cryptocurrency. Here's an overview of how StrongholdNet works, focusing on virtual payment networks and real-time settlement using SHX. 1. Virtual payment networks. StrongholdNet serves as a virtual payment network that connects traditional financial systems, like banks, card networks, etc., with blockchain-based digital assets. Virtual payment networks act as a platform where different forms of payments, both fiat currencies and digital assets, can be processed seamlessly. 1. Hybrid financial infrastructure. StrongholdNet integrates blockchain technology with traditional payment systems to create a hybrid environment. This allows businesses to manage both fiat and digital transactions from a single platform without needing to switch between systems. 1B. Interoperability. It supports interoperability between different payment methods, allowing participants to send and receive payments across various networks, including both legacy payment rails, such as ACH or wire transfers, and modern digital payment solutions, blockchains, crypto wallets. 2. Use of SHX cryptocurrency. SH is the native utility token of StrongholdNet. It plays several key roles within this payment ecosystem. 2A real-time settlement. SHX can be used for instant, real-time settlement of transactions. In contrast to traditional financial systems that can take days to clear, for example, cross-border payments, SHX enables near instantaneous settlement on the blockchain. 2B. Liquidity and speed. SHX tokens provide liquidity to the network, helping streamline payments by bypassing the need for intermediaries. Since SHX operates on the blockchain, the settlement occurs quickly, eliminating delays from banking hours, geographic locations, or third-party processing. 2C. Transaction fees. SHX tokens can be used to pay for transaction fees within the StrongholdNet ecosystem. Using SHX for transaction fees provides an incentive for businesses to keep SHX on hand, which supports the token's utility and adoption. 2D. Rewards and incentives. Businesses and users within StrongholdNet can also earn SHX tokens as rewards for participating in the network, for example, for providing liquidity or using the platform for payment processing. These tokens can then be used for further transactions or staked for potential rewards. 2E. Security and transparency. Since SHX transactions are recorded on the blockchain, there is increased transparency and security. This means transactions can be traced, which is useful for auditing, compliance, and fraud prevention. 3. Real-time settlement mechanism. StrongholdNet's real-time settlement functionality operates as follows. 3A. Payment initiation. When a payment is initiated on the StrongholdNet platform, whether in fiat or a supported cryptocurrency, SHX can be used to settle the transaction. 3B. Instant transfer. If a business or individual holds SHX, they can instantly transfer value from one party to another across the network. The payment is validated on the blockchain, and the recipient receives the funds in real time. 3C. Multi-currency support. StrongholdNet allows users to pay or get paid in various fiat currencies, USD, ETC, or cryptocurrencies like SHX, which are then settled instantly using SHX tokens if chosen. 3D. On-off ramps. The network provides on-off ramps to convert SHX and other digital assets into traditional fiat currencies, and vice versa. This conversion is done through partnerships with financial institutions and payment gateways, making it easy for businesses to move between crypto and fiat ecosystems. 4. Benefits for users and businesses. 4A. Reduced costs. By settling transactions using SHX, users avoid high processing fees, typically charged by banks and card networks for cross-border payments or high-volume transactions. 4B. Efficiency and speed. Real-time settlement reduces delays in receiving funds, making it ideal for businesses that require fast liquidity or operate in high-frequency transaction environments, for example, e-commerce, digital services. 4C. Regulatory compliance. StrongholdNet emphasizes regulatory compliance, and as such, SHX transactions are designed to adhere to anti-money laundering AML, and Know Your Customer KYC requirements. This ensures that businesses can use the network without facing regulatory roadblocks. In summary, StrongholdNet's virtual payment network connects traditional financial systems with blockchain-based payments, enabling real-time settlement through the use of SHX cryptocurrency. SHX provides liquidity, reduces transaction costs, and increases transaction speed, making it an efficient solution for modern payments in both fiat and digital currencies.
Here I will attempt to talk a little tech about FedNow and the potential involvement of Stronghold and their virtual payment networks. That is primarily out of here, which is a FedNow technical overview and planning guide. And a lot of the information that I will talk about is shown on this page here. Now, it does call out a VPN, however, it is just explaining it as a virtual private network. However, the network and how the transaction would actually communicate would be pretty comparable with how a POS or retail payment would be initiated, travel through the network, which connects into the Federal Reserve because of
the SCH payment,
and then get communicated back to a different retail customer or a company. And I won't really have to talk about it a whole lot, because Maximus Crypto kind of talked about this topic a couple of months ago.
I forgot to mention it, but he relates FedWire to World Wire. I am currently looking into this more again, as there are many similarities and connections.
Particular technical overview, this PDF, you see plain as day the FedNow Service network architecture, how, more importantly, that like the other Federal Reserve payment systems, the FedNow Service is accessible via communication channels provided, of course, by Federal Reserve banks, Fedline solutions. But it's the access, right? So there's participating financial institutions part of this. And, most of us know about FedNow, but I want you guys to put some significance on this key area, and that is the participants exchange messages with the FedNow service using IBM MQ client. Now, as we know, we talk about messages. What really stands out there, everybody? Well, it's ISO 222, because when people talk about like Swift of the past with MT, it's going to that next era with ISO 222 messaging, right? But how do we see great examples of FedNow, IBM, and taking all this, like the entire basket, and where do we go moving forward? Well, as you will see right here, it's understanding some key connections. And number one is how the FedNow MQ servers are basically in part of this mechanism, if you will, of a solution with Fedline. The FedNow MQ environment operates as a single cluster across sites, allowing participants to do what? Connect to a server at any site. And here's the breakdown. As you can see, the customer zone. What's a good way of looking at it? If Stronghold is definitely part of that customer zone. And this is a visual that, even though it doesn't say Stronghold, understand what is being used at play, especially through that IBM partnership that they have going on. So you can see how this is mapped. You can see how it goes to like the Federal Reserve Bank zone. And more importantly, kicking in the mechanism of making like all this flow through what though? Well, Federal Reserve banks. And again, I thought this was a nice representation. I didn't see a lot of people sharing this particular one, but here's why this is so crucial for your understanding. Because back to Stronghold case study, some of you guys are into case studies. I used to like it back in college days, and I still like it because it's educational. IBM leverages Stronghold's blockchain infrastructure to do what, everybody? Transform payments, plain as day. And as you get into it, again, you clearly see the significance of IBM. And again, it may seem as though the IBM, man, they're into everything. They're not really into everything. They're into quality projects with quality products and services. Instead of waiting 3 to 5 days to clear and settle IBM World Wire transactions that use Stronghold resolve in real time. Don't ever forget about IBM World Wire. Don't ever forget, especially the Stellar Protocol connection. And most importantly, don't ever forget that Stronghold is part of that Stellar ecosystem. And of course, Ripple is part of that partnership. So they're well connected because of remittances. But more importantly, what does it say in regards to cross-border payments and so on? Well, the results have been in long ago. IBM Stronghold created a virtual payment network, IBM World Wire, to facilitate what? Real-time cross-border payment transactions for a closed-loop network of course, financial institutions. Sometimes people forget about that, but more importantly, instead of waiting 3 to 5 days to clear and settle IBM World Wire transactions, of course, that use Stronghold resolve in real time.